Let's get started. Now, armed soldiers have been tasked to take action against illegal miners who return to mine in water bodies. This is the latest directive from the government as soldiers completed the first phase of the operation geared at ridding the nation's water bodies of all forms of illegal mining. President Akufo-Addo on Wednesday deployed 200 men drawn from the Army, Navy and the Air Force to embark on this operation. There's more in this report.
Defense Minister Dominic Nitio says 2 Chinese nationals have been arrested and mining equipment seized.
The Ghana Air Force provided air cover and took aerial photographs of the operations. And by 18 hours, which is 6 p.m., when operations were halted for the day, 2 Chinese nationals were arrested at Atieku near Chufuprasu in the Central region. The Chinese, Wei Gang Ying and Wei Gang Ming, have all been handed over to the National Security for further interrogation. They will be prosecuted. Ladies and gentlemen, it is noted that since the commencement of the operation from Wednesday the 28th to Thursday 29th, the troops have destroyed a number of equipment, including 9 excavators, 127 chamfine machines platforms associated with mining equipment, 1 fuel pump. Furthermore, the following items have been seized and will be destroyed, except items that will be used as exhibit in courts. 8 by 24 plate batteries, 1 pump action gun case, a generator, Huawei phone, chainsaw machine, 8 raincoats, fuel filters, non-citizen Ghana card, ID card, 2 drilling equipment, and 2 boots. This will be destroyed except equipment that the police deem necessary for their work for prosecution. Otherwise, everything on site will be destroyed.
He warns persons who return to the mining areas do so at their own risk.
There will be constant monitoring of what they have done by the Ghana Air Force with assault people on board. And so don't think that you will go back after all. This is a 3 days wonder or 9-day wonder. No, don't go back. That's all that I said. And that they have been given instructions to take action on anybody who goes back. That's all that it has to do. So there's nothing that, oh, because somebody is mining by the roadside doing this, that's not the instruction that we have. Once they sweep a place, and they're going to sweep all the major river bodies, they're going to sweep the forest reserves. When they sweep a place, and you think you will go back, you are just endangering your own well-being in this our little country called Ghana.
Government has suspended all mining and exploratory works in forest reserves. Lands and Natural Resources Minister Samuel Abujinapo says a monitoring team has been tasked to monitor compliance.
We are putting out telephone lines. Ghanaians can call to report that I live in Apamprama. There's a forest reserve. People are still engaged in prospecting there, or people are mining a forest reserve. The monitoring team will then alert the national security architectural apparatus so they can move in.
This is not the first time such armed military men have been deployed to check illegal mining. Only time will tell how successful this operation will be.
Let's try and have a conversation on this issue. Joining me on Zoom is Daryl Bosu. He's the Deputy National Director of Rosha Ghana. It's an NGO concerned about the environment. They were part of the recent stakeholder consultative meeting which recommended what we're seeing today. So, Mr. Bosu, thank you very much for your time. Tell us, does this reflect the decision taken, and how different do you think this operation will be from Operation Vanguard? If you can unmute your mic. Yes.
I think it's quite interesting to see the kind of actions government has put in place following the dialogue. I will have to say that if you look at the current pressure that our rivers, our forest reserves are facing, these measures, which are meant to be quick solutions to what is on the ground, is really crucial. But the issue is that whilst putting in place these measures, which are meant to be quick, very deterrent measures, we need to ask about the long-term sustainability of these measures that have been put in place. I mean, so if you look at the current deployment of the 200 military officers, it's kind of similar to the Vanguard team that was deployed and worked for 2 years, and we still are where we are now. So we believe that these measures are, for me, the way we say it, are very quick, meant to come in and solve to deal with the pressures now, get people off the rivers and forest reserve. But I think the most important part of this whole exercise is we focus on how do we sustain these actions. That is a crucial part that the discussion need to look at.
Right. So for you, the issue is sustainability.
Exactly.
But these initial actions that have been taken are not different from the actions that were taken at the beginning of Operation Vanguard. So if the step one of this new initiative is the same as step one of the old initiative, what should step two be in order to ensure success where the old initiative failed?
Great. So I think one of the key recommendations from the dialogue was, how do we decentralize the actions to address Galamsey? At the moment, I mean, before the dialogue, we realized that most of the action to address Galamsey was all coming from the top, the executive, I should say, where even the police, the district agencies did not have the power, because once they initiate an action, they get some interference or involvement from political actors, asking them to act in a particular way. And during the dialogue, this came out very strongly, and the recommendation was that we need to see the decentralized agencies like the police, district police command, the Environmental Protection Agency, and the Minerals Commission stepping up their game, and also the political actors really staying away from these institutions. So we want for step two to make sure that the police, the district committees on illegal mining are all strengthened, are all inclusive, and we have a broad opportunity for all stakeholders at the district assembly to contribute to the process. Again, we need to see that these logistical support that is going to deployment of the military and even Vanguard, we need to see the same resourcing going to some of the decentralized agencies at the district, at the MMDA level. And that is the only way we can look at sustainability, achieving sustainability for some of these early measures we are putting in place. It is crucial that, yes, we look at the short-term measure, but also in the long term, we need to make sure that we resource the institutions at the local level to do their work.
Now, we haven't yet heard those who are the owners, the names behind these operations that have just been, thwarted by the task force. We don't know them. Should that not be a part of the process? Should we not be naming and shaming the people who own these businesses that are destroying our environment?
I think yes, that is a way to deal with it, but I believe that when we looked at the amendment to Act 703, the Minerals and Mining Act, we now have Act 995, which spells out the legal processes and procedures everyone involved in Galamsey should be taken through. And I think it is important we respect the rule of law and ensure that that process is adhered to. Otherwise, as I've seen the banning of some excavators and bulldozers, it will be amounting to kind of an instant justice, something we do not want to promote. So I believe that the law is very clear what to do with people who are found culpable. Let's let the law take its course. Naming and shaming could be one of the strategies to deal with it, but I think we should let the legal process, and that in itself is deterrent enough.
Right. So you have an eye on the environment beyond all the work that was done at the stakeholders' engagement. Your eye is permanently on the environment. So we've seen what has been done so far in the first 2 days. How soon will we start to see an impact, a positive impact of this operation on our environment, on the water and the quality of it?
So when it comes to impact and we reversing or recovering from the damage done to our rivers and streams, it's going to take some time. For the rivers and streams, we need to make sure that we completely stop any further activity in them. And once we do that, it's going to take not less than a year to make sure that these water bodies clear up. The water bodies will clear up, but we need some more years to see that a lot of the heavy chemicals that have moved into the water bodies and all of that is completely also removed. And all of this will take time. For example, if you look at the areas of land that have been degraded, research indicates that for most of these degraded sites, you need no less than 10 years to ensure that you return the land to productive function. And when I say productive functions, not just from planting trees, but also to make sure that you can use this land to produce food for consumption. And this is what we need to be focused on. It's not going to be easy recovering from the damage. We need to give it some time. But until we stop the threat and the pressure, we wouldn't be able to succeed in this.
All right, well, let's hope that we see more and more positive results as this operation unfolds. Thank you very much, Darrell Bosu, as the Deputy National Director of Arusha.